Hello, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining me live here from Oracle's OpenWorld. Day one is over, it's in the books, it's Monday. Sitting here on a beautiful day in front of Moscone North, I believe, in the outer area. Here's a quick turnaround for a real perspective. And to move over, so my head is not the O of Oracle, but look at from here. So what are the key interesting things we learned at OpenWorld so far? So yesterday, Larry Ellison had his typical opening keynote, which he usually does on Sundays, after a short sponsor message from Intel, which said it previous years, I believe, too. So so many announcements, right? Usually people joke about death by PowerPoint. Definitely Larry had done death by announcement to us. Really reminding us how many things, how much R&D. I think it's over 5 billion, Mark Hurd shared that today, that Oracle is putting into R&D. And many conferences we attend as industry influencers or our customers attend as regular customers of vendors probably have 1, 2, maybe 3 of these slides, right? Only the mega events from the ones like, no need to mention them, right, have anything close to that, but even there it's more staggered. So 18 slides starting announcing something new, which of course means it will come out in somewhere in the next 12 months or so. So significant things. But the really big news, in my view, the information which stands out is Oracle's new cloud infrastructure 2.0, not officially called like this, coming out of the Skunkworks team up in Seattle, being available. Believe it's Phoenix and something outside of Virginia first, and rethinking, rebuilding fundamentally how Oracle wants to run IaaS. Not with 2 data centers availability domains, as Oracle calls them, in one place, but with 3. Interesting question, why 3? And it's easy to understand that typically mission-critical loads, which Oracle wants to run and needs to move to the cloud in order to battle what is their target number 1, AWS, is mission-critical loads. And what do customers do for these mission-critical loads? Well, they have 2 instances for high availability and often a slow storage or even a tape backup. Nobody wants to automate tape backup in the cloud. It's manual intensive, tapes break and so on. So that's the consequence of using 3 availability domains. Definitely a differentiator, but a lot of time has to be spent, a lot of money has to be spent to bring these data centers up to live. They're also not going to be fully virtualized. They're going to be running bare metal, something we've seen works well for the enterprise to a certain point to move existing load there, something which has served IBM, for instance, with SoftLayer very well in the past, or is still helping them very well, because enterprise still can touch and see that server if they have concerns about security, availability, and moving to the cloud. Plus, and this is really important for Oracle, they have to move the existing load of the enterprise to, from their perspective, hopefully their public cloud. And this means the zoo, which has been come up with enterprises with all kinds of different systems, all kinds of different servers, has to be able to be moved to that new cloud infrastructure. And that's where bare metal has obviously unique advantages, especially if you factor in the things which additionally Oracle has been doing, like the acquisition of Ravello, which seamlessly moves VMware images over to public cloud. We'll have to see that really works live. I want to speak to a customer that really means no touch for those VMware images. But also on the security side with the Palera acquisition, which provides a trusted security service to go there, because security is the number 1 thing stopping public cloud access in many enterprises right now. So a very important aspect to make it safe and easy to move over there. Bare metal helps, Ravello helps, and secure definitely helps. Up the stack on the PaaS side, the interesting thing, of course, this would not be OpenWorld if Oracle would not release a new version of database. It's Oracle 12c, release 2, with lots of things around multi-database capability, multi-tenancy, pluggability, which uniquely helps from the perspective. Also interesting, again, in the IaaS sector, is significant separation between compute and storage loads. Again, important if you're Oracle and you want to use Oracle 12c databases to the infrastructure to have a separate setup. So what we see is basically an infrastructure where the birth of the tuned for enterprise load, tuned for Oracle Cloud, which is a compromise basically the designers of that infrastructure are supposed to do. Also interesting, for the first time, Oracle is really talking about publicly big data. Hadoop was almost a bad word 2 years, popped up a few times last year, but Oracle is much more comfortable with Hadoop-like loads. Oracle equally is talking more about new things which almost missing like here, like enabling microservices, API directories, Docker will be able to run, container microservice will be able to run new infrastructure. So it's still early days, but Oracle is definitely talking about this, which always is the first step for getting to that. Interesting to me is also the new developer model. Larry showed in his keynote how he visually programmed with no development skills. Might be a little bit rusty for him. Chatbot application, a very sexy, up-to-date example for that. But the non-technical user building business applications or good enough business applications for the need is a big potential and something that Oracle needs to address next to the classic developer, which of course they do since a long time. Up on the SaaS level, the big news really is the new AI is the big buzzword. We shouldn't be talking about AI, we should talk about machine learning. Something was missing significantly in the Oracle portfolio, despite earlier claims, or was it the HCM keynote with Chris Leone saying we shipped right away in 2010 with predictive analytics in it. Well, you can debate that or not debate that, it's fine, but the whole machine learning aspect was underdeveloped on the Oracle side. Oracle's going to come back, calls it adaptive applications, adaptive intelligence applications, actually, with 5 different use cases. Largely what they talk about physically right now is kind of like a Blue Kai 2.0. I asked one of the presenters, well, this is what Blue Kai would have done next version if they had enterprise applications. And he came back to me and said, well, that is what Oracle is doing with Blue Kai as we have enterprise applications. So think of a very marketing-centric information around the Oracle Graph. If you're not familiar with that, I mean, it's a multiple billion, I think 5 billion, don't nail me on the number, information collected about what are your electronic footprint and digital profile. So big part of the overall Oracle data as a service part, which wasn't highlighted so much so far. So I think Oracle is keeping some things in the tank for Thomas Kurian's keynote tomorrow, who's been one of the earliest access to even speak about data as a service. And today then, Mark Hurd was talking about his usual setup, economic data, had Mark Zandi starting up there. He was on the stage, he was behind a news desk. He never likes to be on stage with nothing. So he had a news desk there. Usual thing, economic information. What will your CEO do? He will cut innovation if things go bad. So the usual scare argument that Mark Hurd often uses. And then what Oracle can do to do it better. Lots of customers, very well from that perspective. Oracle does not have a customer adoption problem for their cloud products anymore. That's probably one of the other key takeaways. Orange was on stake, leading out. HSBC talked about being completely in the cloud, using Oracle products, and many, many more. Don't even remember them. Look at the story file, which I'll publish later, to see all of them. Otherwise, short and sweet predictions, right? His predictions, not so wild, not 10. I only recall 2 or 3 of them by heart. By 2025, he likes to do these predictions, and we'll hopefully remember in 2025 what Mark predicted. One of them was that 80% of the on-premise data centers will be gone by 2025. That's not too wild. That's the one I remember by heart, but he's probably going to be right around that. From what I would say, if I had to put a pistol on my head and say, hey, how many on-premise data centers are still going to be around in 2025? So overall, good start for Oracle OpenWorld, which is really a big event in terms of attendance, as usual, as we usually see that, but really staggering from an announcement perspective. Last year I did the work of taking each of them and looking at them. I'm not sure if I'm up to this year, despite only 8 press releases today. So Oracle, thanks PR team being very easy on us, but now it's time to chill out for day 1, go to all the parties and enjoy OpenWorld. Thanks for watching. This was usually much more longer. If you're here at OpenWorld and see this, come and find me, direct message me on Twitter. That's the priority inbox, of course. Look forward to meet you. Thanks. Bye-bye.